Welcome to Culinary Arts with Mrs. Chase again. I'm so excited to show you like my all-time best breakfast that I would have all the time growing up, and that is scones. These are the exact scones that they make at the Puyallup Fair, and they're so easy. You can buy this box of scone mix. It's made by Fisher, Fair Scones. You can buy it in the baking aisle. And I always get the original, although there's some other flavors now, but I prefer to add my own touch. So again, with the directions, you just follow the directions on the box. So everything that I'm going to show you today, you don't have to remember all the directions because you'll follow it exactly. So I've started by turning on my oven to 425 degrees, and while it's heating up, I will make my scones. So comes in this lovely bag, all ready to go, and you literally just add water. Pour it into your bowl, and then you're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of water. And then you're going to do 2 tablespoons of water. Now, you're gonna figure out when you're done, when you're mixing, if you need to add any more water or if you're gonna need to use a little more flour when you are putting the scones together, but you just mix. You mix until it's all incorporated. And it will look dry like this. When it starts to come together, you know that you have a really good consistency here. This is actually looking pretty good today. Nice. I might do just a tad bit more, just a tad bit more water. And a little extra goes a long way. You might think, oh, I need to put a whole nother tablespoon. That was probably not going to be the case. It's just to get the last bit of the flour kind of off the side of the bowls. All right, now there's a couple different things you can do at this point. One of the things that I love to do is add fresh raspberries. You put raspberries in and then you just, mush them kind of up into here too. Oh my gosh, they're so good with fresh raspberries. You could do with peaches, you could do with strawberries, you could do blueberries, like really whatever you want. It's why I don't buy like the blueberry scone mix, because then they have those little freeze-dried yucky blueberries in. Not a big fan. Now there's also 2 different ways that you can put the scones onto your cooking sheet. I have my cooking sheet lined with parchment. I put a little flour on my hands. It's my own flour, so probably not super sanitary for everybody else. And I roll it into kind of a ball. This is about 1/3 of the batter. So you can either do, back in the day when I was a kid, my mom would put 3 balls of the mix on the platter, and then she would pat it down like this, kind of form it into this round circle. She'd fix the edges. And then she would use a knife and kind of dip your knife into the flour, and you would make a cross going this way. Now, I kind of like to make sure all the edges are cooked well, but you can leave it just like this, and you can do 3 of them just like this, and they bake kind of like the fair scones. One of the things that I do actually is I like to pull them apart, so they're just a little bit apart from each other, and that way the edges all around will get cooked really well. Now, the other way you can do it is just to have like a little more rustic look and have scones, so like individual kind of rustic scones like this. And you make them about the size as they would be if they were part of that quarter of a circle. And this is good too, and especially like if you use berries, the berries make the dough a little wetter. So when I use the berries, I tend to make the more rustic scones. And you can do it, like if you have family preferences that are different, that's the cool thing about this. You can make your scones different. You can have some that are done one way. You can do some scones with nothing and then add some berries to the rest of the scone mix. And then you have some that are berry and some that are not. Now, the next step I like the best. And I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I like putting cinnamon and sugar on top of my scones. It just adds a little something, something, right? So there are some, at some specialty shops and things, you can get pre-made cinnamon and sugar. This is the lazy way, but it's really convenient. So I just sprinkle a little bit on the top of my scones, and I just love them. Now my sister thinks this is terrible that I do this. She is old school, she likes them plain. If you don't have pre-mixed cinnamon sugar, put about 1/3 of a cup of cinnamon in a little bowl, and then you add some cinnamon to it. Just a little goes a long way. And you mix up your own cinnamon and sugar. See how easy that is? Just mix it until it's pretty incorporated. And then you can sprinkle this on. Ooh, this is, yeah. I'm gonna put a little bit on because my family loves the cinnamon and sugar. I'll leave a couple though that are just the plain to show you. I'll leave a plain one of these. So now they're ready for the oven. I'm so excited about this because it's just the perfect Saturday morning thing to do. Look how easy that is. So now we're gonna put them in the oven for 10 minutes and voila, we've got breakfast. Here we go. Set my timer for 10 minutes and we'll be back when they're done. All right, so it's time to take them out of the oven. Oh my gosh, they smell so good. Now is the best part because it's getting ready to eat them. Holy moly, they smell so good. So I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways, a few different ways that I like to eat them. Slice them in half. Oh my gosh, these smell, oh, so good, so good. So one of the first things I like to put on them is honey. Yeah, it's really quite lovely. So honey is my first option. Homemade raspberry jam. Now you all know how to make jam from that Sure Gel recipe, right? So this is just fresh raspberry jam. So easy to make, and there's not a whole lot of cutting and taking stems off with raspberries. So raspberry jam making this fast. Of course, strawberry jam that you all know how to make, right? Put on some strawberry jam. And then my sister would say the only way to eat a scone is have it be warm right out of the oven with butter. So there you go. 4 different ways to eat a scone. This is such a great breakfast. Now, the next way to use a scone, we go from breakfast to dessert really quickly. So we grab another scone. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this one. I'm gonna cut it and put the bottom part down there. And then fresh strawberries. We're gonna make strawberry shortcake with our scones. So much better than those store-bought kind of cake things. Do it the quick way. Strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. Put the lid on. Some more strawberries. And then what's really fun to do is to take some of your strawberries and put them in a blender or mash them up. And then pour some fresh strawberry mash up on top. And then to finish it off, scoop of ice cream, vanilla ice cream, or whipped cream. Yeah, those are both great options for strawberry shortcake. I'm gonna take a bite. And you're all gonna be jealous because you're gonna wanna make scones tonight. Oh my gosh. Happy dance. Food happy dance. Oh goodness. All right. So that's Culinary Arts with Miss Chase. See you next time.